it seems to still say wait for lite kod
Might be delayed.
on the YouTube.
Yeah, for me too. We'll see if it
Probably takes a minute.
Whoa, first.
Okay, now the YouTube say wait for.
Oh,
this was
something's
strange.
happening.
Now I hear my.
Oh, cool.
Hey, it's live.
Now
That was interesting. Now I heard myself.
yes, I would recommend all of you here who are watching the stream on YouTube to mute the stream on YouTube, even if you are not talking yourself, because you will hear me twice if you do that. Or like more like if you don't, as in than if you do. But okay, let's get started. People will drop in, but that's okay. Where did my control thingy go? There, okay. Okay, so welcome everybody to the... Well, we can turn on the auto mute thing first, just in case. Permission everyone. Permission to speak denied. Okay, so welcome everybody to the Spring Game Jam 2020. As you might have noticed, we are in remote mode because of the current pandemic, but hopefully this will go along smoothly either way. And since we are remote, you aren't able to see me, but here's a picture of me from the Falls Jam. My hair is significantly shorter now, but otherwise this is just the way I look every day. So what is a game jam? A game jam is an event where you make a game in 48 hours, in this case until 18 or 16 p.m. On Sunday, May the 10th, in 2 days. A game jam is also a chance to learn new things and to meet new people, even if that will be somewhat lessened this time because you can't meet physically. And it's a chance to challenge yourself and have fun and goof around. So the schedule for this event is shorter than usual since there will be no orderings. That you will have to deal with yourself, unfortunately. But today, Friday, you're currently watching the presentation, either on YouTube or on Discord. But if you're, for some reason, only watching on YouTube, we'd advise you to join the Discord channel, link is in the description, to take part in the theme generation and brainstorming later. There's quite a delay. Now you see the slide I'm talking about. That is supposed to say Sunday, actually. Let's change that. Saturday is tomorrow. Sunday. And there it's back again. Cool. So yeah, on Sunday, not Saturday, on May 10th, before 18 o'clock, you should upload your game to itch. The link to the itch jam is visible on the screen, but it's also available in the YouTube description, as well as in the Discord channel or server. And at least one team member need to have an account for this upload, because you need an account to upload. Of course, you don't have to upload, but we would... To take part or to have your game be demoable at the end of the jam, you should upload it, because otherwise people won't be able to play it. And then at 18 o'clock, the ending of the jam has been reached, and the final presentation is starting, which will be available hopefully here on Discord, but also on YouTube. Link in the description there as well. Before the final presentation, you will receive a link to Google Slides presentation where you will be able to describe your game. And after that presentation is done, everyone will be able to playtest games. And for this, you don't need to be a part of the jam, but you can invite whoever you want, or just send a link to the itch page for them to download. And here, of course, you download the games from itch. But okay, we're on Discord. This is weird. This is new. We haven't done this before. How does this kind of jam work on Discord? Well, we have a new bot called Baby Boy, which like the old bot, lets you set roles for yourself to indicate your skills, such as programmer, 2D artist, 3D artist, sound engineer, musician, idea guy, and board games. Board games is the best of skills. But what is new with this bot is that you can also react to a specific message in the README channel, which has the header roles/skills, with the corresponding emojis, laptop, palette, whatever, to get these roles. Or you can use commands in the bot commands channel. But that channel is supposed to only be available for jammers. Okay, that's set up. Cool. No, it isn't. Where's that part? Maybe it is, I don't know. Anyway, but to get access to the bot commands after I've successfully blocked it for everybody else. Now it is blocked, cool. And to be able to ping the roles indicating skills mentioned previously, and to get access to both channels that you create yourself, but also other teams' channels, you'll have to have the jam role. And to get the jam role, you also go to the README channel on the Discord server and fill out the check-in form given there, and then give a thumbs up reaction to that message to indicate that I've read this message, I understand what it means to be a jammer, what to not do with the power that's given to you. And then your name will turn up red in the list to the right. Unless you are an organizer, then your name will still stay blue. So in the bot commands channel, you can ask Baby Boy to assign you roles if you don't want to use the reactions mentioned previously, and create channels. And you can see all available commands in the syntax by using the command !help in the bot commands channel, of course. And if you at any point need help or don't understand something, including at this very moment, you can write in the help channel under the information category. And if you don't get help fast enough, or specifically you want to talk to an organizer, you can ping an organizer by writing @organizer in your message. So now it's time for the theme reveal. And for that we will want you to submit theme ideas. And for everyone who's just dropping in right now, we have a YouTube stream going that you can find in the announcement channel. And if you're here listening to me on Discord, you should mute the stream on YouTube so you don't hear me twice. But yeah, it's time to generate a theme. So you will have some time left until we generate the theme to submit theme ideas. And you do that by right-clicking, or you can just actually click in any way, Baby Boy in the list of users on Discord to the right, and writes a word in the message box. Just a single word, not multiple, so no white space is allowed. But he will tell you that if you write something incorrectly. But as you can continue, you can continue write submissions at this very moment, because we will probably go with maybe 2 themes with this jam. So I'll generate the first right now. So this is done by pulling 2 words that have been submitted automatically from the bot. And I wrote it wrong. Oh yeah, it's... There we have the correct command. So the first theme is Orange Expansion. Themes. Orange Expansion. And let's write that in the slides too. Oops. Orange Expansion. Did not mean to use caps there. Orange Expansion. And the second theme will be Ghoul Reassembly.
That one was interesting.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. That will prove interesting, hopefully. That should be an M there. Reassembly. So the themes are Orange Expansions and Ghoul Reassembly. If anybody else in the organizer group could write that in an announcement or something. So then it's time for brainstorming. Yeah.
Well, I think we gave people only a very short time to add extra themes if they didn't know that that was possible. So maybe we should
throw a third one.
Somehow ask if everyone who has submitted a theme actually got the chance to do so.
If you don't understand how to write the theme and haven't done so already but want to, write the message in help. There doesn't seem to be any.
Yeah.
We'll continue then. Okay, so if you haven't joined the Discord server for some reason and want to take part in brainstorming, you should join the Discord server now. Link is in the YouTube description. So you will have 15 minutes to brainstorm. During the first 10 minutes, you will discuss the theme in a specific table channel that is lower down on the list of channels on the Discord. And we in the organizer group will assign you to a different table, so you don't have to think about that. So you should discuss the themes and come up with as many theme ideas as possible. Then during the last 5 minutes, you should pick from these ideas a top idea that you think is your favorite idea, but also a backup idea in case someone else has come up with the same idea as you. Because after these 5 minutes have passed, you are to return here to the main stage and present your top idea, or your back idea if someone that presents before you has already presented your top idea. But with that, we should be able to get started.
We should probably mention that these aren't the groups you'll be working with. This is just for the idea generation, and then once we've reconvened and discussed the ideas, you can start discussing what games you want to make. And
indeed, so these are just brainstorming groups, not the teams that you will be working with throughout the weekend. Then let's go full screen again. So yeah, I'll just go. How many are we? Are we like 20 or something?
22 last I counted.
22. So let's go with 5 brainstorming groups maybe? So...
Yeah, 20, 21, 22.
Yeah. So you will 15. Now be... what did you say?
15 on YouTube apparently, but is there...
Well, that's probably a subset from here.
Yeah.
But so... I will now go through this list of people in the main stage and move you to a brainstorming table. So don't get alarmed when you suddenly aren't in the stage channel anymore. You are.
Axel,
yeah?
Should we try to get an organizer in every group, since that should be possible to do this time?
Yes, let's do that.
Yeah, nice.
Then I'll just skip you.
No, stay in your assigned table, please. This is for discussing theme generation.
Where were I? I think I had assigned
I mean, the important bit is
0.
that
It doesn't really matter.
every table gets just about the same amount of people. So
True.
Just throw in people randomly. It will probably work out.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Also, I should mention that I am 2 persons, so I can count as 2 to organizers.
That's not complicated at all.
You are 2 persons?
Don't move me.
I see. Okay. Okay, so I'll leave a spot for you then.
Yes.
Oh, wait. No, do move me. I want to hear the conversation.
Okay, we'll move you to table 1 then.
Yes.
You should have made a bot command for this.
Yes, but we decided that that was kind of bloat. So, Butch Bayo, do you want to say something maybe? Hello, Butch Bayo? You should be able to talk now.
But not anymore. What?
I'm kind of confused at the moment. Well,
As am I.
let's just continue move around people. Down with you into the abyss.
I banish you.
Okay, and the rest of you just jump to a table that's underpopulated. And remember that Jesper counts as 2 persons. Hello.
Hello. Are there many that doesn't understand Swedish here? Or?
We are both Swedish, to my
Yes.
knowledge.
Oh,
Men ja, så... Ska vi se.
Alla kommit ut sina kanaler eller?
Inte riktigt. Man kan tydligen inte flytta folk som inte är i... Oh wait, jag borde göra alla de här kanalerna tillgängliga så alla kan se dem. Så.
Ja, det är bättre.
Så tar vi bort de här överflödiga kanalerna. But yeah, I should mute the stream right now. Yes. So now we should have audio on the YouTube stream again. So now the brainstorming session is over. And
the stream
table...
disconnected for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
It will probably get started in a while, but it took a while when it tried.
There won't really be much to see at this particular moment.
No.
But yeah, I took screenshots of all of you arranged in the tables earlier, so I know who to unmute for the specific tables presentations. But first off, we'll go with table 0. So that's Eric, who's already unmuted, and Arit. I won't even try to pronounce that name under pressure. And Granis, and the one through Karin. So now you should be able to present your ideas.
They chose me to present the idea actually, so it will be even easier for you.
I see, but then they can add details to their
if you want to. So the idea we ended up discussing the most, I think, was the idea that you have an orange plantation and you're trying to expand it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in an attempt to combine both of the teams, we have basically decided that it should be a orange plantation run by a necromancer. So you get a hold of various meaty, very non-vegan parts, and you use them to reassemble ghouls to work your plantation for you.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you make workers for your farm.
Yes. So maybe call it Necromancer Fruit Farm?
Necromancer Fruit Farm. Thank you very much. Then I will mute you again. And then I think that was all. Then we'll move on to group or table 1. So then we have
just a heads up. I think server mute will mute them throughout the server.
Yes, I'll have to deal with that later.
Yeah, we can probably just tell people to unmute themselves.
Unmute themselves. Well, they are forced to be muted at the moment. I see. Well, I'll turn off the forced mute in that case.
Okay, that's all. Never mind. Yeah.
So now no one is forced mute. But yeah, table number 1. Gustav Jesper, my vision is og ... or woozy. What's your top idea?
Yes, so our top idea can be found in the general text chat. So My Little Ghoul, Tamagotchi game about taking care of a ghoul. So, well, you have your pet ghoul, you need to feed it brains, make sure that to reattach limbs that fall off, and similar things. It's a very wholesome experience, and you need to take care of your ghouls unless it will die again.
Of course. Again. Thank you very much, table 1. Then on to table number 2. So that's my table. Okay, so we came up with, what was the name again? It was Sun Farmed Oranges. So this is also a game where you have a farm, but the twist is that you have this farm around the sun, which is helpful because you will get sunlight from the sun, but it's also dangerous because solar flares and stuff can go off occasionally and damage your crops unless you place them in a way that they will avoid the sun flares. Or alternatively, you could have a mechanic where you dodge the sun flares with your entire farms or plantations or whatnot. And also the idea is to have it somewhat like a clicker so that you invest in more sunlight by throwing your oranges into the sun. So that's our idea in a nutshell. Over to table 3. Anna, the green, Joachim, or the TARDIS box. What's your top idea?
Yeah. So our idea was pretty similar to some of the other ideas. It's simply just to have a cute little game where you form oranges and make orange juice. And we didn't really have time to come up with a lot of game mechanics, but we thought maybe you could have it like timed, so you have to pick the oranges just at the right moment.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you have a name for this game?
I don't think we came up with a name, but you could just have like Orange Farm.
Where this is timed orange farm, so we can differentiate it from the other farm ideas. But then, thank you, Table 3. On to Table 4. Ed, Emil, Franz, or Robin?
Yes. So, our idea is also the orange theme. So, in winter, when you roll a snowball, you roll it over snow and it expands. So, our idea is to do that, but with oranges. So, you roll a big orange over small oranges, and you get a big orange.
And of course you absorb them, because that's how that works.
Franz, I have a question.
Yes.
Have you ever seen an orange?
No.
Okay, continue.
Yeah, that's it. That's the game idea. You could probably make it multiplayer or something.
Cool. Do you have a name for it?
What did we... Hang on, let me scroll down into our chat again. Orange Snowball.
Orange snowball. So it's not an orange ball, but it's an orange snowball.
Yes.
Maybe
Have
write
you-
that together.
Rolling things that get larger sound kind of familiar. Have you figured out if you will get sued by Nintendo for infringing on it?
No.
Cool. Well, that's it for the brainstorming session. So now we will have some follow-up info, just before it's time to start jamming. So now it's time to find a team to work with and select or pick an idea to choose from, or to develop your game based on. It doesn't have to be any of these brainstorm ideas previously. It can be an idea related to one of these themes or both. But if you have a problem finding a fellow jammer or to work with, you can talk to the fellow jammers in the text channel general or the voice channel general if there are any people there, to see if there are anyone searching for a member, or pitch an idea that you might have to see if anybody else would like to work on. But if you tried that and can't find any people to work with anyways, ask an organizer for help, either in general or preferably, or let's go with general, so because it isn't really like an FAQ kind of help. And to do that, you simply write @organizer in your message. And if you have an established team, or even if you're solo and have an idea and looking for certain kind of skills that you think could benefit your game, you can ping people with the programmer, 2D artist, 3D artist, sound engineer, musician, idea guy, or board game skill sets or roles set to them by writing @programmer or the like, preferably in the general channel. And to do this, you need to have the jammer role, as discussed earlier, and we will remind you at the end of this presentation too. But please don't spam your fellow jammers by using these mentions all too much. So then, now you have a team, and you have a game idea, and you want to start working on it. Since we want to have the community feel of our physical jams somewhat emulated, we would prefer you to work on this very Discord server that we are in right now. And since having everybody working in general would be a disaster, we have the option for you to create your own channels by, in the Discord or in the bot commands channel, which you only have access to if you're a jammer. So again, become a jammer. You can call the commands create channels and the name. That can be with white spaces or whatever, which will become the name for both a text channel and a voice channel that will be created. And you don't have to worry about this name really. You can change it at any points later by having the same people that call the create channels command write rename channels and then a new name, which will rename all the channels. But this means that every single jammer can create a set of channels. But we would ask you to not create more than one channel per team. So a team doesn't have 2 channels, because that just clogs up the Discord. And if for some reason you would like your created set of channels to be removed, you can ask an organizer for help, and then they will help you with that. So you can create a new channel or just have your channel stay removed. So a final reminder, become a jammer to get access to the features mentioned previously. Create channels and through access to the bot commands channel, but also visiting the other groups' created channels so you can see what they're doing. Only jammers should have access to those created channels. I think so, at least. Let's check the roles real quick. Everyone. Whatever, I'll check that later. And if you have forgotten how to, or simply don't know how to get the jammer role, you go to the README text channel on top of the list of channels on the Discord server, and then there's a text at the bottom where you get that tells you these things that I warned you about previously: don't spam and only create 1 channel per team, as well as general info about these things related to jammers. And there's also a form that we would like you to fill out where you check in so you can keep track of how many attended these jams. And then you finalize your becoming jammer process by simply leaving a thumbs up reaction to that very message, and you will become a jammer. And at that point, your name in the role list to the right will become red to indicate that you successfully have been turned into a jammer. So that's pretty much it, really. Which means it's time to jam away until the deadline and find. What are you about to say, Eric?
Should we make voice channels as well for the game ideas? I see we only have text channels right now.
No, there are voice channels.
I just created a My Little Ghoul theme.
Oh, I see.
Over here.
I mostly created the 5 channels in general. So if you want to work on one of these ideas, write something there. Maybe I want to do this. I want to work with this technology, perhaps. And then once you found a group of people and you want to discuss more details, then you do the bot command and you get your own channel. Because I think most of these themes or most of these ideas will expand into 1 or 2 games or something like that. So this is mostly for just finding a team.
Exactly.
Yes. So if you gravitate towards a specific idea that has been presented, you can go to that respective text channel and see if there's anybody else that want to hook up with on working on that idea. But after you formed a team and decided on an idea, it's time to jam away until the deadline and final presentation on Sunday, May 10th at 18 o'clock or 6 p.m. for those who don't understand 24-hour clocks. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I will end the stream at this point.
Yes, thank you so much.
Nice.
Yes, let's create some kick-ass games.